worldwide. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I go by the name of Caesar, aka Mr. Sneaker Rod, and you're tuned in to Apparently This Happened. If it happened, we're either discussing, reacting, or posting it so you guys can react to it in your homes, with your homies, and your co-workers, etc. Now, with that being said, before we even proceed, let's do a little housekeeping. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. And with that being said, I'm not going to hold you up, man, because you got stuff to do, and so do I. All right? Today, we're just going to check out Kyle up the Nelk Boys, breaking down the deals that they had, or he had with SteveWillDoIt. Because right now, SteveWillDoIt has got a couple gripes, and he feels there are a couple discrepancies when it comes to the finances with Nelk. He personally feels that he didn't get his just due. I don't know. So we're just going to hear the breakdown from Kyle, and then we'll take it from there. All right?
In 2019, Steve signed a deal with Nelk that clearly outlined how he would get paid for merch, brand deals, appearances, everything. So, on Steve's personal merch, he received 70% of the net profits. Nelk's 30% was not pure profit. It covered the design, the production, the fulfillment, inventory, everything that it takes to make a successful merch drop.
Wait, so for any merch that Steve was dropping, or branding or whatever, right? If I'm understanding correctly, he walked away with 70%, and out of his 70%, he was not responsible for anything to do with logistics, merchandising, fulfillment, anything like that. And Kyle took it upon himself with the 30% on the Nelk side to build and regenerate and reinvest whatever the 30% generated back into the business to create more merch, etc., and more opportunities. That is crazy, bro. Because that means that Steve was making, quite a, he was getting a bag for real. Like, for real.
A 70% creator split while the company manages full operations is a very strong deal. So now let's talk about how much money Steve earned from Nelk. So I'm going to pop up something here. It's a year-by-year breakdown of personal cash earnings for me and Steve. So you can see.
Before he even breaks this down, I can kind of understand why it seems lucrative to a lot of people to act an ass and act a donkey, man. To basically record themselves doing the worst of the worst, being disrespectful, pranks that are getting out of pocket and out of hand. It's all motivated by the possibility that you could possibly make a couple $100,000 to a couple $1 million, even if you're disrespecting people, making people feel uncomfortable. Even if you're doing things that are kind of cringe or whatever. This is the reason why people are inclined to do that. If I act a fool, I can make a couple $1 million. I can help my family. I can take my family out of whatever situation that they're in. I can take myself out of whatever situation I'm in. And all I have to do is just act foolish. Crazy, bro.
See here from 2019 to 2023, how much I made and how much Steve made each year. Over that stretch, personally, I earned just under $3.5 million.
Damn.
Over that same stretch, Steve earned just over $12 million in cash.
Wow.
And in 2019.
And if I understand correctly, that 12.1 million is just specifically for any of the merch that they were selling. It's got nothing to do with any other deals outside of the merch with Nelk. That is wild, man. 12.1 million. And then Steve says he's going through a financial crisis, and I can understand why he's going through a financial crisis, because he's extra generous, buying people cars, giving people hundreds of, 10,000 here, 20. He's always handing out money or buying things for people, giving away his jewelry, etc., right? But I find it hard to kind of balance and see how could it be lucrative to put out all that money. I can understand that you get a lot of eyeballs watching and saying, hey, I wonder how much he's going to give out this time, or I wonder what he's giving out this time. Or people in the comment section are sometimes lucky to be, blessed by him as well. Now, outside of his antics using the N-word and him feeling like he can use the N-word and he has a pass because he gives back to the black community, I'm going to stay out of that. That's a discussion for another day. I'll focus on the good that he does, which is giving. All right? His generosity is unparalleled, but that is kind of the backbone of his business. But with all that generosity and all that he puts out, I wonder what is reciprocated. Like, what is the takeaway after he does that? Like, how lucrative could it be? But then again, Steve, man, will say he's in a crisis, and this is kind of like, on brand for his brand. And, he could be down 2 million this week, and then he meets with Dana next week, and they go to the casino, and Dana gets him out of the hole, and the next thing he's up 3 million. It's just the way the ecosystem behind his finances works is just something that I would like to, like, even if it's pocket watching to a degree. I'm just curious, man. Like, hey, like, teach me something, because the way you're moving, like, it's wild. But I'm gonna leave this for here until there's some sort of update, whatever. Steve's probably gonna come back and say something, to respond to this. But I go by the name of Caesar. You've been tuned in to Apparently This Happened. Do me a super solid, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. And yeah, man, we're back at it. Don't chase another, chase a dream. Be safe out there. Stay healthy, mind, body, and soul. Just keep yourself clean. All right. I'll get up with you guys in a second. One.
Worldwide.